guys, welcome to another 20 minutes with Shirley. Today we're gonna continue on the elephant we started before. As you can see over here, I already kind of did this side of the ear. Now I got myself ahead because I want you to kind of have a reference. We're gonna do this side now, and it's gonna be the same because they're both equal. So there's not gonna be a problem following along. And then once we complete this today, hopefully then you can do this yourself later. Okay, let's get started. We're gonna start with the grays, and we're gonna go for 108. So here I'm just kind of putting it softly, not putting much pressure, and then I'm gonna kind of cover the whole thing like I did here. Over here I'm gonna try not to go over these little leaves too much, so I can color them in like I did here. Okay, I had to stop for a minute because I forgot to put my little black mat on the bottom, and then since I was coloring on top of my cotton mat, I was getting these lines. Same thing here, I'm gonna try not to go over those little leaves. Alright, that looks like that's all the gray. Now I'm gonna move on to my 088, and that's gonna be the base for my leaves right here. Again, not putting too much pressure. Now these colors I'm using, they don't have names, they only have numbers. So this is kind of a limey color. like 0, 3, 4. I'm gonna do the base for my flowers. Again, I'm not putting pressure here. Trying to keep a subtle kind of sweet color scheme, but of course you can go bold too and it will look amazing as well. Okay, now I'm gonna take some of my yellow, my golden 016, and then I'm gonna do kind of like these things here that are kind of like golden nuggets. Okay, I'm gonna retake my green 088 and I'm gonna go over these leaves that I missed here. Okay, I'm gonna take a purplish color, and that was 134. That's gonna be the base for my feather here. I'm gonna leave some white spaces to create shading on it, so I'm not going all over it. So I left this part no color, no color, no color, no color. All right. And I think that's it for this color. Okay, now I'm gonna go with the pink 145, and I'm gonna do shading on this flower here. Now I'm gonna put hard pressure and then I start loosen up. So I'm going at the edges to create depth. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing with the flowers here. Medium pressure, and it starts loosen up. And I'm putting medium pressure at the edge because I'm going to add another color. Okay, and some on this one. Alright, I'm happy with that. I'm gonna take my green, and this is 005, and then I'm gonna create that shading on the leaves. So I'm gonna go first, I'm gonna go up here, and then it's kind of like these lines here. I'm gonna do one color, one not color, medium pressure, same kind of not shaded, you're not loosening up, you're doing the whole thing medium pressure. This one right here, we're gonna do the same. Medium pressure. And then this one as well. Okay, for these, the center, I'm gonna do medium pressure. Alright, now to make them pop out, I'm gonna start here in the corner, and then we're gonna start with a lot of pressure, and then we'll start loosening up. All around the leaf. And then it starts kind of coming out. Do the same with this one. And this one I'm not gonna go all around, I'm gonna go on this side and then on this side. Since it's a smaller leaf, I don't want to kind of overcrowd that. Okay, now we're gonna do the same with this one, and this one the way I did it was I start hard on this side and I start loosening up, but then here there's like this kind of, it's kind of bended like this. So what I did to kind of enhance that, I start here, start going up, and just in the middle with middle pressure I created some shade, and that's it. I didn't put any shading on this side. Okay, for this one, high pressure, and then I start loosening up towards the center, and then I'm gonna do that all around here. Now I also want to create shading on this side, so in the center in this line is higher pressure, and then I start loosening up, and then the other side. Okay, now you can see it coming out. Now we're gonna do the same thing on this leaf, but on this leaf I'm gonna put high pressure on kind of the bottom and then loosen it up at the top. On this one we're gonna do the same thing as we did here, high pressure in the middle, then we'll start loosening up to the sides, and then go to the sides, high pressure and loosen up. All right. Now we're gonna take some of the yellow, 016, and that's the other layer we're gonna do in this flower. Just softly, I'm not applying any pressure on it. So I'm creating kind of like a new color by layering it like that. Now I'm gonna take 111, which is kind of like a khaki color, and I'm gonna create that shading on this one. So from the center, high pressure out, and I'm gonna do some here. All right, now with 047 we are gonna start shading this part here, and I'm gonna go center out, and then I'm gonna go here between the leaves and hard pressure and then loosen up, and a little bit on this corner, high pressure, loosen up, and high pressure, loosen up. All right, now we're gonna take the 157. I think this is the one I use. I'm gonna try it first. Nope, that one was too hard. Okay, so maybe it was the 047 to create the shading here. And then high pressure, loosen up, and high pressure, loosen up in the corner. There you go. Okay, now I'm gonna take this one, 096, which is my dark gray, not purple, and then I'm gonna go around to create that depth. So we're gonna do it in a little different way than we did it before for the trunk. So we're gonna start high pressure and then loosen up. But since I want to create some depth here on the like hair-like things here, I'm creating these shadows underneath, so you're gonna kind of go off it and create those shadows, not on all of them, just kind of pick the bigger ones and create that shadow. And then go ahead and start doing like we did, high pressure and loosen up all around it. Here on the flower too, go carefully around the flower and loosen up. Okay, we're gonna do the same on this side. Now you can see here I did the same thing. I did that shadow. So I'm gonna create a line to shadow it. And then at the end kind of starts loosen up. And then I'm gonna go and do kind of like the leaves randomly, not specifically, just kind of randomly like that. And now you can see that effect coming out. Here I'm gonna start high pressure and creating that shadow. High pressure, loosen up, and I'm gonna go around all the edge here. I'm gonna create some shadows of these little hair-like things, and then go ahead and do the same thing. Okay, for the feather here, I want to create shadow too. So I'm gonna go hard on the edge and then loosen up here at the tip. And this is kind of like the shadow of it. And then we're gonna kind of go over really softly to loosen it up a little bit, but still see a difference. Okay, same thing here. High pressure, loosen up. Around this part, I'm gonna do the same thing, high pressure, loosen up. In this part, I want to create a sharp shadow for this part of the elephant as well. So I'm gonna go really hard on the edge. And then I'm gonna continue doing the same thing, maybe loosen it up a little bit, but don't go crazy on it. You want to still see a sharp shadow there. Right, keep going around it. Here on the corners, I want to make sure I make a sharp shadow, because that shows kind of like his ear folding. So I want to create a deep shadow there. We're gonna go over with some black in those corners to sharpen it a little bit and make it more visible. High pressure, loosen up. And in this one I also did a shadow on this side, so I'm gonna go ahead and make a line and kind of the shadow that is under these little balls is gonna touch the black. The shadow that is under the line is not gonna touch it. It's gonna go perpendicular to it. And then here at the end I just carve and loosen it up. Right? Then for this one I want to do the same thing, create shadows. So just gonna make the first I make the line, right? Don't touch the little leaves like we talked before, and then just randomly make one or two, and that's it. That gives it that depth. Create some more shading here. We also have these little leaves here, so I want to create some shading for them. Starting from the bottom, loosen it up at the top. There we go. You're gonna add to this one some shading as well. High pressure, loosen up, high pressure, loosen up. Okay. It looks like I missed another leaf here, so I'm gonna go with my light color 088 again, and then my dark green 005. Create that shadow there. Okay, now I'm gonna use some red 073, and that's gonna be here, like in between these little nuggets here of gold. And now I'm going to take my black 072, and then I'm going to go and sharpen those corners. High pressure, soften it up. Okay, I'm gonna go to the really tiny corners and kind of do the same thing. That's just gonna create more shadow, more depth, and it's gonna make things pop out a little more. Just in the very tiny corners. You don't want to go all around. In these sharp shadows. Okay, now I'm going to take my purple again, 134, and I'm going to do the leaves for my little plants here hanging on him. Of course you can use any other color you want. I like this one because it's kind of very opaque, so it will show. Carefully do the little tiny ones here. Alright, and I think that's pretty much it. Oh, I'm going back to my black 072. because I did do some shadows here on the other side for those hairs, and I added some more shadow here. In these corners as well. This just creates more depth and makes it a little more sharp. Didn't do that on this side, but I want to add it now. Okay, some more shadows, and I think that's gonna be it for this 20 minutes. It's been 20 minutes, a little bit over it. I'm pretty satisfied of what we have accomplished right now, and I think it came out really good. So now you can do this side on your own like I did before, and for the next session we are gonna do the head probably. Okay guys, well, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you guys are enjoying the 20 minutes, and if you do, please subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna try to do this every Sunday. I already have some plans and some things scheduled for it, so I hope to see you here again, and don't forget to give it a like and subscribe and hit that notification bell there, and I'll see you next time.